Sawadee Krap, it's Monday, March 28th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Rules keep on changing in regards to the Songkran Thai New Year holiday, as the government now says that water splashing could be allowed during the festivities in mid-April, likely in Bangkok, but only at some venues and not in open areas, which leaves open the possibility to have water splashing events here in Phuket for Songkran. The announcement was made over the weekend, in which authorities will allow water splashing at events and certain venues in Bangkok, which must be under strict COVID-19 measures. According to reports, these dedicated venues must not allow the consumption of alcohol or the use of talcum powder, which is rubbed on people's faces as part of the holiday festivities. At the moment, the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration in the capital, the CCSA, say that events in which water splashing is allowed must be organized at specified venues, a definition for which remains unclear, but it's likely that walking streets will be allowed, though it's not official yet. A spokesman said that a meeting will take place this week between the CCSA, chaired by the Prime Minister, in which more details are expected, and it's largely believed that if Bangkok Metropolitan Administration allows such events to take place, then officials in Phuket, Chiang Mai, and Pattaya will also request the same. Just last week, Phuket announced they would prohibit the traditional water splashing during Songkran this year, in line with a previous order from the central government. But since then, officials in Bangkok were tentatively given the go-ahead for the water splashing, despite the large number of COVID-19 cases in the capital, as long as the right COVID precautions were taken. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Local mafia demanding payments, so-called misunderstandings, and more are all being connected to 72 rai of beachfront land in Bang Tao Beach, estimated to be worth 1 billion baht. It's prompted the Treasury Department to start an investigation. Let's start at the beginning, as it all began in 1977 when the mining concession expired and the Treasury Department sold or returned the 72 rai of land, just over 115,000 square meters, divided it into 700 plots to local villagers. A cabinet resolution in 1986, 9 years later, recognized only 11 legitimate occupiers of that land. One of them is Rakchat Monsuk. Over the weekend, Mr. Rakchat explained that he had allowed a boutique resort operator to rent his land, and that same resort operator then subletted the land out as separate smaller plots to 24 different people, who moved in and now refuse to leave. In fact, Mr. Rakchan is accusing them of refusing him access to his own land and has now filed legal action against all 24 occupiers of the land to have their buildings demolished, and even made allegations that mafia groups are attempting to extort others on the land. Then there are people like Danapon Samran, who's accused of illegally occupying some of that land and stated that he had inherited the land from his mother, who was named as one of the occupiers when the mining concession expired in 1977. He's been working there since he was 8 years old, selling food and drinks to tourists, but a boutique hotel company claimed to have rights to the land in 2017 and demanded rent money. When he refused, he claimed he was hit by representatives of the local hotel operator. The Treasury Department, which is said to actually own the land under Bokol registration, they are now marking the land as government-owned and allowed to be developed. Last Thursday, they led a survey of the disputed land, which saw no instances of violence. Officials say the next step was for the court to decide who are the legal occupiers of the land and who had rights to charge anyone rent for occupying or operating any business there. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Quality guaranteed since 2012. Call M&M Painting today. The case involving Police Colonel Titisan, the case involving former cop Titisan Uttanapon, better known as Joe Ferrari, and 6 other police officers, all connected to the death of a drug suspect seen suffocated by what looks to be plastic bags. It's now winding down, with a ruling now scheduled for early June. The Central Criminal Court for Corruption and Misconduct Cases announced that a ruling on the high-profile case is set for 9:30 a.m. on June 8th. Closing statements on the case are also set to be delivered within the next 30 days. All 7 suspects all of them now disgraced police officers who were kicked out of the force shortly after the case came to light. They've been detained at Bangkok Remand Prison since before the start of the trial in November. All 7 were police officers at the Muang District Station in Nakhon Sawan Province when the video was released in late August last year showing what transpired. In that video, which took place on August 5th, Police Colonel Titisan, or Joe Ferrari, was seen placing plastic bags over the head of 24-year-old drug suspect Chirapong Tanapat, who died as a result. Thai law states that anyone who dies while in police custody must have an autopsy done within 24 hours and a death certificate issued for the family. In this case, the autopsy recorded his death as a drug overdose, which a full autopsy later revealed was false, as he actually died of suffocation. It's believed that Joe Ferrari had ordered the death certificate to be altered under false pretenses. CCTV footage from the police station was released by a fellow cop about 2 weeks later, and the source said it was all an attempt to extort 2 million baht from the suspect. The video sparked a public outcry over police malfeasance and dominated the news shortly after. In the aftermath, Joe Ferrari fled, but later surrendered to police in a neighboring province. Later, he gave a press conference to explain the death, calling it an accident, and denied any allegations of corruption, saying he committed torture in order to get information to destroy the man's drug business. He, along with 6 other cops from the same station, were arrested and now face several charges, with Joe Ferrari facing severe charges of murder by torture, deprivation of liberty, and abuse of power, among others. He had also been facing a separate investigation by the National Anti-Corruption Commission, the NACC, over his collection of more than 24 luxury vehicles, from McLarens to Porsches and Lamborghinis, as well as his wealth of more than $24 million, according to reports believed to have all been obtained during his time as a narcotics suppression officer in the southern province of Narathiwat, which is known as a rich source of illicit funds for police. The NACC did reveal that he may have been working with customs officers and others. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Police have identified a body found floating in the sea on the margins of mangroves in Koh Kaew on Saturday as that of a 59-year-old Thai national who hails from Nakhon Si Thammarat province. The body was discovered around 4 p.m. on Saturday by local residents not far from Soi Samaki 9 on Phuket's eastern shore. The body was said to be stuck at the edge of the mangroves in the area, and no injuries or suspicious signs were discovered. Forensic experts at Vashida Phuket Hospital are now looking into the cause of death. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, March 28th, here at Phuket Extra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.